Get
if he
some.
does.
You'll bring the turkey if he'll have the morels.
Yep, there we go.
All right. Well, welcome back for another episode of Ultimate Hunters Podcast. So I'm Kirk Washington,
I'm Levi right now.
and today's topics we're gonna get into a little bit of turkey details.
Turkey
So
talk.
yeah, he's the turkey man. You can see behind him. He's got some birds.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
know a
don't. I
little
would.
bit about, but
Yeah,
not much about turkeys.
yeah. I don't know that I'd call myself the turkey man, but I do have better success turkey hunting than I do whitetail hunting. So.
You got the drive, and that's what you're gonna have to shake into me because
Mm-hmm.
it got warm. We went out to look for morels. We were passing ponds, and I had the itch to get a pole in my hand.
Yeah.
Like
No, you guys cut that out.
so so this
Uh-uh.
is this is y'all's chance, which I think out west, I think that's gonna be a good start for me because I just
Yeah.
enjoyed out there. And so maybe if we mix in a little bit of turkey magic,
Yeah.
that'll
Well,
that'll get
here's something I'm going to tell you right now. Today, I was looking at the weather out there.
hmm
It was 33 degrees and snowing
When
today.
today?
Today,
What's the weather? So we're leaving. It's
Thursday.
Sunday today. We're leaving Thursday, so in 4 days. So what's
Mm-hmm.
the weather saying?
The lows are still in the 30s, but the highs are getting for the weekend. The weekend we're there, the highs are in the 60s and 70s, but then it starts to drop back off next week.
Okay,
So
that's
we'll
fine.
see. Yeah,
I mean
they should be. We should be able to find some birds, hopefully.
that, and I feel like those temps will be somewhat nice to run around because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me and Emily went out last year and we tried to run after some birds, and if you go hard,
It gets
you
hot.
sweat. Yeah, it gets hot
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. And the hills out the terrain in Nebraska is steep, and
Yeah,
so yeah. At least we'll have some cooler weather, I guess. But hopefully they're gobbling. And I don't know. Never hunted in Nebraska before, so this is like a first for all of us.
yep,
And I don't know if they'll be broken up and actually like gobbling, or if we'll have to find them in groups and just try to work them in. I don't know.
yeah.
So we'll
Have
see.
you been in or through Nebraska before?
Yeah, I've drove through it, but I
Okay.
haven't.
I was
Yeah,
just curious. It'll be my first time in Nebraska, so
really.
because I went to South Dakota and I
You
think I
were.
went up. Did I go through it or
You
did
would
I
have
go?
to.
I know I went up Iowa.
Oh, you went up to Iowa and across?
I think so. So I don't know that I ever went through Nebraska, but
Mm,
um, yeah, but Western Kansas, I've heard it's a lot like it. So
yeah, that's what
the
I hear.
terrain,
I don't know. It'll be a first for us. We'll figure it out.
yeah,
But I'm excited. I'm ready to go. My bag is
your
halfway packed, and
guns loaded.
yeah, it's ready to go. I got them sitting. Well, you can't see them behind me, but they're in the corner right here, sitting ready to go in their cases. They're ready to go.
Yeah. Okay, so question,
Mm-hmm.
what are you gonna do first to try to like locate a bird? Like what so we're going out there, I guess we'll have a full day of being able to scout.
Yep.
So what are you looking for first?
Well, we've got some pin or one pin in particular that one of our buddies said there was a turkey there last year. So we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
start there, and we'll just hope. What I want to do is I want to get up just like we're going hunting. Get up in the morning, go get the vantage point, and listen. Owl hoot, whatever. Try to locate one. I don't want to. I don't want to mess with them at
Yeah.
all. Like I don't want to. I want to hear them and then leave. Really, I don't want to. I don't want to try to mess with them and take a chance of boogering them up or something. But I
Yeah.
figured what we would do is we would start there where we know there's a bird, and
And it's
then
bad.
just break off and go from there and check because there is thousands and thousands of public land within 20 minutes of where we're staying.
What's fun about out west is
So I plan on just hitting every piece of public land we can fit in and just glassing and just trying to find where they're at. And so that way Saturday morning we can have a game plan of where we need to be standing or hopefully. And what I would really like to do is Friday night, I would like to roost, put some to bed, try to, so that way Saturday morning we can get up and just go get under them. That's my plan.
So tell me about like using an owl call.
Okay.
What gets them fired up? Because I mean, like I hear that often, but
It's a, I guess you would call it a shock gobble. They will
uh,
gobble, especially when they're really fired up. They'll gobble at almost
anything.
any loud noise. You can sometimes, if you got the right turkey, you can slam your truck door and he'll gobble.
Yeah,
They just answer loud noises. Like I don't know, it's like it shocks the gobble out of them. The
yeah.
owls, they just answer owls for some reason.
Okay.
Or crow calls are good up in the middle of the day. I've had some luck with that, but the owl hoot really gets them. They answer the owls.
So you don't want to use like your normal like hen like
Mm-mm.
or some sort
Because
of
if you start out first thing in the morning with like a a cluck or a calc or anything calling to them, then they're paying attention to where you're at,
okay.
right? So if you just use like a locator call, like an owl or a crow, they don't pay attention to where that's at, so they're not worried about it. They just answer it, right? They'll gobble at it. But if you're calling to them, then they're going to be paying attention to where you're at, so it makes it harder to get into them because they already are looking that direction.
It's that way you can work to your advantage.
Hmm.
That's a good note that I should write down because
Hmm.
I don't do that.
Yeah, no, you don't want to call to them too early, unless I mean, if you're set up before dark underneath them, then you can just when they start, let them start gobbling on their own, and then you can just start calling to them immediately because you're ready, you're set up, you're ready, you're there. So
What's your favorite? So there's box calls, diaphragms.
slate
What do you
calls, block
what,
calls, that's what I like. I like. Hold on just a second.
yeah, grab it.
Yeah, let's get it out. Okay, let's just go over what I use. How about that?
Great.
Okay, so I use a Nightingale Run and Gun 200 turkey vest. I have my favorite pot call that I have right now is a Primos. It's just straight slate. It's an old Betsy. That's my favorite pot call. It's just easy to run, as long as it's not raining. If it gets wet, it doesn't work great. But it's just easy to run. Sounds good. It's loud because I like to use a pot call when I'm far away. I like to, because it's more movement. And then I also have a Deception Sense or Deception Calls, Parrish Elliott Signature Series, Hot Mama. I cracked it. You can see the crack in it, but it still sounds great. Works good. It's glass. Sounds awesome. It's awesome. Um, but then when I get in close, I have well, they're all in the truck, all in my mouth call. I use a mouth call when I get close.
Yeah.
When I'm set up, especially if I'm by myself.
Throw something out.
Mm,
Like, like you can throw have your gun.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah. That's when I switch to a mouth call. And then for my locator call, my owl call is a uh Woodhaven Ninja Owl. It's
Okay.
awesome. It sounds
I
it's
think
just
I think it was too loud.
I probably shouldn't have done that. It probably was too loud. Oh well. Anyway,
Yeah, I was like, wait, I think it sounds like it's going, but I don't hear anything.
yeah, it's too loud.
Hey, question. What about I think there's elk that's like near that area, isn't there? I
Is
wonder
there?
I wonder if turkey like holler back at elk.
That is I have no, I don't know. I haven't this will be my first experience out west, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Um I mean, I would assume if the elk bugle, they would, but do elk bugle this time of year?
I don't know anything about elk either.
Me either. I don't know anything about elk. I'd like to learn. I would love to elk hunt.
Someone's probably, yeah, someone's probably listening to this and like, what an idiot. Elk,
Oh yeah,
elk
we sound dumb. Well, that's
here.
why like hate telling people like I know what I do and it works for me, but I am by far not a professional. Like I don't try to tell people how to turkey hunt. I don't try to,
Yeah.
because I do what works for me and I kill birds occasionally.
We said it. Like there is so much saturation, like with
Mm-hmm.
social and education, and that is not that's not what we're about as far as I mean we ain't been doing it our whole lives as and like learning and we're in the process of learning how to do stuff. Like that's what I'm doing this year is like turkey hunting. Like I've killed some in the past, but it was just like seeing them, went out there and shot them. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
nothing to learning that specific species,
Right.
failures to teach me something new. So
Yeah.
that's what drives me to like
The
start.
I think one of the most important things that I've been taught about turkey hunting is what really helps is knowing the way the land lays, right? So okay, I can go this way and cut in front of, because getting in front of a turkey, it makes it so much easier to call a turkey to you if you're already in his path that he's on,
Okay.
right? Because it's especially if he has hens around him, it's really hard to get him to break away and come to you if you're not already in his path of where, hey, I'm already headed that way anyway, let's go check this out. So that's going to be what's difficult about out there is we're going to have to learn the land and the birds at the same time. Whereas
Yeah.
here, I everywhere I turkey hunt here, I've been there my whole life. I know where to go. I know where the turkeys are going. I know, so it makes it easier.
That's what I had a fun time with the Spartan Forge app on the LiDAR
Mm-hmm.
I showed you. That
Yep.
it kills everything and it's a topo, but it's like way more in depth. Like it shows like every single hole, rigid,
Yep.
curve. So I think that I really enjoyed using that out there in out west of Kansas. But yeah.
Yep. Um, it's going to be a learning experience for sure. I also got a hydration bladder and put in my turkey vest, so we'll have water with me because I figure we're going to need it.
Yeah. You could
So
probably get quite a few miles pretty quick.
I figure we're going to be doing some walking,
Yep.
some serious walking.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of running, but definitely some walking.
Yeah.
Well, most of us that are going are in pretty good shape, so at least that won't hold us back any.
I'm probably gonna be in the worst shape.
No,
My back.
no.
No.
No. You'll see
Like,
when we get. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. You'll see.
yeah.
You're not in the worst
But,
shape.
but yeah. I'll go hard. Like, but my body is not made for it.
Hmm.
But I'll have to be like I'll go as far and hard as I can and I'll have to be dragged out like to quit.
Hmm. Here's what. So there's four of us going, and the thing that I'm the most interested to see how it works is we really need. So you're the camera guy, and then
Mm,
there's the other three of us have tags. We really need three people in a group because we need someone on the gun, someone behind calling, and then you need to be over the shoulder of the person on the gun.
yeah.
So we'll see how we play that out.
So why do you want like a separate guy calling like rather
You
than
don't
just
have to. I mean, you can call them in yourself, but if you have someone sitting behind you,
Mhm.
in my experience, again, not a professional, just in my experience, if you have someone calling that's like 20, 30 yards, 40, 50, behind you, um, the
Oh, in
turkey's coming.
between.
Yeah, you'll be in between the turkey and the call, so the turkey's coming to back there. So
Yeah.
you don't run into the hanging up at 100 yards as much as you would if you're sitting there calling and they're looking right where you're at.
What about decoys? Like, what's your experience? And
I don't hunt with decoys.
you don't?
I've no, I have never, and I know they work great in some situations, but I'm a run and gun. I don't mess with decoys ever,
Okay.
and that could be a fault that we have. I mean, but I've also heard that out there, the flocks are huge out there. There's 40
Yeah.
turkeys in a flock. So if you have one or two decoys, it doesn't really help you because why would a gobbler leave 20 hens to come to three?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if we had a huge spread of decoys that we could put out, but also we're going to be on public land, and I am not a fan of using decoys on public land for sure.
Yeah.
That's a
I
good
hear
way.
accident like
Hmm.
every season during turkey season, like someone getting shot.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just
well, and it happens, but you just got to be really, really careful and just know what you're shooting at. I mean, that's the main way people get shot is you get people who just get excited and they know there's a turkey somewhere near them and someone else walks through and they just see movement, pull the trigger.
yeah.
You can't you can't do that.
No.
It's just not. Now, what I definitely wouldn't do on public land is reap a turkey. I would not be behind a fan trying to crawl in on a turkey because that's a good way to get shot.
Yes, I've seen people doing that. Yeah.
It's an awesome way to hunt a turkey, but it's not for public land.
Now, is there certain states that you can use like a rifle? Is it Texas?
Hmm.
You heard that?
I don't think so.
Pretty sure I heard there was a state, maybe, that you could use maybe like I mean, you'd want to use a lower caliber,
Hmm.
but I'm just thinking of how many ways that thing can go wrong, and also why it should be illegal because I mean that's just so easy. I mean,
Oh well.
use like a 22 or something, or
No, that would be. I mean, shooting a turkey with a rifle wouldn't even be fun
no.
because it's not the same. But that
Yeah,
I'm also the guy. I love to bow hunt.
yeah,
I have no interest in shooting a turkey with a bow.
yeah,
It's just as hard with a shotgun.
yeah.
And not just a bow is definitely harder, but a shotgun for me is hard enough that I don't feel the need
You
for
think
the
it's
bow.
areas, certain areas though? Like, say you just have an area that's like overabundant with turkeys, like, and you get them in on decoys like every time. Because
Yeah.
I saw a buddy, he went out and shot, I think he had two tags in some western state, and he shot both of his turkeys like first morning with a bow at
Mhm.
like 15
Well,
yards,
if you,
but had
I
a
mean,
ton coming in. I mean, he had like there was
yeah,
like
I mean, it would be fun, but there's just something about a shotgun. I don't know. I love it, and especially now that I went down to a 410, like I just feel like that's even more like,
yeah,
it's smaller. So, but man, it'll kill them, dude. I'm telling you,
yeah,
it's awesome. I love it. It's light. It's gonna be a breeze carrying that thing around.
yeah.
So
So we've
I don't
got how
know.
many days out there?
Six, 6 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6 days.
Okay.
Counting Friday, so 5 days to hunt.
Yeah, one day of scouting.
And I'm honestly, I've been on the. We can check into our Airbnb at noon on Thursday. I've almost been on the. I've thought about. I haven't told anybody this yet, but I've thought about leaving like late Wednesday night
Yeah,
and getting out there early enough to scout Thursday night and all day Friday. Because if we leave Thursday morning, it's a 14-hour drive almost. We're not gonna
yeah.
have time to scout Thursday evening.
I think it's 12. Yeah, I
For
think it's
you,
12.
It's
us.
12 for you and it's almost 14 for me.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we could drive like to what is that, Northwest Missouri,
mhm,
meet Wednesday night and get a hotel.
we could. Or we could just drive on out. Or we could just leave. We can just plan it out and leave whatever time gets us to our Airbnb at noon the next day, check in, and then go scout.
Yeah. You're talking about like pulling all-nighter.
Yeah, why not? Just drive all the way through. When I drive to Florida, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I leave it.
I
I
don't
leave
mind
it.
doing that for a whitetail.
I'll do it for a turkey. I'm
I
not
know.
scared. Um,
Awesome. Yeah.
there's when we go to Florida, we leave it here at 6 o'clock in the evening, and we get there at uh like 8 or 9 the next morning. That's how we drive. We just drive through the night.
Yeah.
Just take shifts, which there's only going to be two in each vehicle, so it'll suck a little more. Normally we have like three people going to Florida, but
Yeah.
still, I mean,
Oh, I've done plenty of all-nighters.
I'd do it. I would 100% do it, especially since we don't actually have to hunt. Like we don't have to hunt till uh Saturday, so we can rest. We can sleep in and stuff. We've only got 10 minutes left in this meeting, by the way.
Okay.
So, but we'll just
Yeah.
start another one. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know. We'll talk more about that, but let's dive into some more turkey stuff. Do you have any more questions that you did you any more talking points that you wanted to talk about?
mm, so as far as like Turkey's vision, that's where they really come to play. Like
Mhm.
where it makes it difficult.
Yep.
What are some like things that you do, I guess,
To hide better.
well, yeah, I mean like yeah, do you try to set up in certain spots, or like how hard, like how much do you prioritize like getting in a good spot to hide?
Uh,
Like for whitetail,
100%.
we're getting up in trees, we're
Yep.
trying and not moving and doing
So
all that. Like our turkey's vision, like that, like yeah,
it's if turkey's vision is so good that if they could smell, I wouldn't hunt them.
yeah,
You couldn't kill them. You couldn't beat them because their eyes are so. I have had turkeys see me blink and leave. That's not even an exaggeration. Like I have blinked and then they just left. So
yeah,
whenever I set up on a turkey, I do my best. Now you get in situations where they're right on you real quick and you can't do anything other than just sit down. But if I have time, I try to find a place where the sun is at my back, so
yeah.
it creates a shadow. So I'm in the shadow of the tree, and as much greenery and stuff behind me, back cover as I can get. If you can get behind a down like a log or something to where it's just anything between you and them is always better. I mean, obviously you want to be able to shoot through it, but whatever you can do to hide. I always wear a leafy wear, like leafy camo top at least, just because it breaks you up more. I probably won't out there because the one I have is really green and it's more for springtime here than it would be for out there. But I do my best to be as hidden as possible. I always cover your face. I wear gloves, cover any skin I can, especially as white as I am. I shine in the sun, so
Okay, so whenever you got a bird, like you're trying to work it with a call, do you
mhm.
have like certain calls that you do?
I Yelps are my go-to.
Okay.
But I don't call a lot. I'm not, a lot of people will call and call and call, which it works because real
Yep.
hens do that. But I'm more of I'll call to them, and once I know that they know where I'm at, usually I'll just stop calling, especially if they're fired up. and gobbling on their own, I will just stop calling because then they get curious and wondering where you went, and then they come look.
Yeah, you know that Bo, I don't know his last name.
Brooks,
Is that like world champion caller?
he's
You,
amazing.
yeah, so his reels pop up on my like algorithm and
Mm-hmm.
he does like the gobble with a call.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I was gonna
Dude,
ask.
no,
That's
I can't do that. So here's the thing about Bo. He's so good.
yeah,
I will just get like every spring I start practicing with mouth call and everything early. Like I've had a mouth call in my mouth drive everywhere I drive. I have one in my mouth playing with it
yeah,
starting in February every year.
yeah.
I just play with it and I will always be like, man, I sound really good. I'm getting so good. And then his TikToks will pop up and I'm like, I suck. I,
Around this time, yeah,
yeah. And I'm like, I suck. I shouldn't even be trying to call turkeys. I'm terrible. Like he's so
yeah,
good. He just makes me think that I'm the worst. Like
yeah.
it's
Like he's better than a turkey.
yeah. He's awesome, dude. He's so good at it.
Yeah,
But
it's cool, but yeah,
mm-hmm,
his whole gobble that he does, like with a
mm-hmm.
recall or a
Yeah, he
dive.
can gobble. He can make every sound a turkey can make, and then he can make a goose call on a mouth call. It's insane.
I so it took me a really long time. I learned diaphragm calls. I tried to learn them from for turkey, but I mean, I end up really trying to learn them for coyotes. So I do
A
coyote
double
like
read. Yeah.
yeah with the
Mhm.
reeds, and I do
Yeah.
howls and yips and all that.
Yeah.
So then by me trying to get better with for coyote hunting, then obviously it was easy for a
hmm
turkey,
Oh yeah,
just
you can.
for basic. Uh,
hmm
I've never really dove into learning like different styles with reed calls and like
Right.
of this.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know. Like, I couldn't sit here and tell you the difference between a V cut and a ghost cut and all
Yeah,
that. I don't know what make. I mean, I know that some of them are more raspy than others,
yeah,
but I just call. I don't know.
yeah, yeah,
Try my best to sound like a turkey, and it generally works. So,
yeah. Now I heard someone told me that if you in the middle of their like when they gobble, you try to cut them off.
hmm
That
that
gets them
makes them mad.
fired up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it gets
does.
it
Yeah,
does.
it does. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Usually, it depends on, like I said, it depends on the time of the year and how serious. Like it's just like the rut. It's the same thing, pretty much. It's their breeding season. So if they're like, need to unlock your iPhone first. Shut up. Why are you yelling at me? Anyway,
Siri.
if yeah, Siri. Um, if you if they're fired up and really like looking, then you can really get them fired up if you cut them off and all that. But I've also seen where that shuts them up too. I mean, before to me, I mean, I've tried to do that and then they just stop. They just shut up and go on.
So do you have so you have and this may be a dumb question, but you have certain hen calls and then do you have like Tom like like
Mm-mm.
calls that you use for no, I mean they pretty much the same.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't. I mean, they make gobble calls and stuff. I don't gobble at turkeys.
So Tom's only gobble.
Well, they will make,
I mean,
they'll,
they'll make other noises, but
yeah.
what I'm saying is they don't decipher like your just normal clucks and chucks. Like,
Mhm.
okay, so that was my question.
Yeah,
Was like,
no. Or at least I don't think so. Not as
yeah,
far as I know.
Bo,
But again, I
Bo,
don't know
pro-
everything.
Bo, Bo
He would know.
probably
Yeah,
can. Bo
yeah,
would be like, yeah, this is this way, and then here's a hen, and it's like
yeah,
sounds exactly the same.
yeah. Probably. I'm not that good. I just like to kill turkeys.
Yeah,
I like to shoot them in the face with a shotgun. That's
whatever
all I
gets
know.
whatever gets them on the ground, and
Uh-huh. Yeah.
it's like
However they
hunting.
get on the ground the fastest. And I'm hoping that we don't run into a lot of turkeys that are gobbling in the tree and then hitting the ground and not talking again because that can get real boring real quick.
Now, So Merriam's, that's what's
Mhm.
out there, correct?
Yes.
So we were talking in a previous podcast about like Easterns. They're known for like some very like I guess aggressive gobbles, like
Strong gobbles. Yep.
strong.
Miriam's are
And
not.
so do you know if they like talk more or not, like typically, or is it
Miriam's,
the timing of year?
what I've heard and researched. Again, I've never hunted a Miriam before, but I've heard that they gobble at everything.
Okay.
I heard that they gobble more. I heard, and I know for a fact they sound. If you've ever heard a tame turkey
Yeah.
gobble, that's what a Miriam sounds like. They sound like a tame turkey. They're like that weak. Just it's a weaker gobble. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not as strong, and I've also heard that they're easier to call in. I don't know if that's true. We're about to find out. But I know that Easterns are like some of the hardest turkeys to work and get to actually come in. And we all know that we can kill Easterns. We've done that. So I imagine it might be if we can find birds, I'm pretty confident we can get it done.
All right. So what I want to know is like, what does turkey hunting like mean to you? Like, why do you enjoy it? Like your drive through it. I mean, anyone can sit around and tell them like why they're passionate about something. And I think that's what boils over
Hmm.
to getting other people to try it or do it. Like that's what makes me excited to go and do this with you guys because the groups that you're around or the people you're around, it normally influences like how you live your life. That's
Yeah.
why I feel like your core people should be important in who you're around because of that. So dive in a little bit about like what got you started into turkey hunting. Maybe a few memories.
Okay. So what got me started turkey hunting is the same story as what got me started deer hunting. My dad.
Yeah.
He's just an outdoorsman. He hunts everything. And when I was little, I wanted to do everything my dad did. So that just led me right into deer, turkeys, and squirrels, all of it. It led me into that. And honestly, the biggest thing about what it started with was just being close to my dad. We have a special, where we're really close because of all that. But now as I'm older, I think a lot of it is just like what I've done my whole life. I don't really know anything. I don't know what I would do if I didn't. If I didn't hunt, I don't know what my hobby would be. But turkey hunting in particular, I think my favorite thing about it and what puts it really it's above everything for me is the fact that it's fast paced. Usually, I think that so much happens between daylight and I'll say 8 o'clock. Daylight and 8 o'clock, so much can happen in that short window. Whereas to get that much activity with a deer, you're talking all day, and I think deer, I mean, they're totally different. And I get that. And I like them both for their own things. But turkey hunting is just, it gets so fast paced. You can, especially like where I'm from, you can be at one spot at daylight and have a turkey either screw a turkey up or not hear any turkeys, and you can just jump in the truck and go to another spot and be on another turkey in 10 minutes. You know, it's just like it's so fast. It's always you're always moving, running and gunning, run and gun. That's what I like.
Yeah, that's what me and Emily
It's just
like to do.
that's what drives me, I think, is just that it's just exciting. It just gives me all the motivation and don't let me fool you. I get down real quick when we're not hearing turkeys. Like I get to being like, oh, I'm done. I hate turkeys.
Throw it in the towel. You can't
Uh-huh.
do that.
Yeah, I get down real fast, but then as soon as I hear that next gobble, it's a reset and I'm
Yeah.
ready to go again.
Yeah.
So,
I went up to let's see, where was that? Kirksville. So North
hmm
Missouri. And I went turkey hunting up there with a buddy. So it was like 3, 4 years ago. And he just had some land.
hmm
and mainly just to go and enjoy hunting with them. I enjoyed being around them, and so I went up there and um, we put out a decoy. We caught a little bit and had this big tom. I mean, he had a
Mhm.
dragger, like
Yeah.
like he was a nice bird,
Mhm.
and man, it was cool because he was fired up. He started like 400 yards and started working his way down this line. We There was a corner of this field, and so we were set up like 70 yards from the corner, and so he was coming down the other tree line.
Mhm.
He came all the way down to that corner and just dove into the woods right there, and he came behind us, and dude, he let out some like hard gobbles
Oh
like
yeah.
10 yards behind us. I couldn't shoot.
Mm-mm.
But man, when he was right there behind us and he let one go,
You can
like
feel it. You don't.
that
You can feel it in your chest.
that was fun. Like that one
Yeah.
got my heart like pounding a little bit. Um, so that was pretty cool.
That's another thing about turkeys. When they get close, man, and they let out a gobble, you can feel that vibration, the bass in your chest. Or when they're spitting and drumming. I don't know if you ever had them
Nope.
strutting real close to you. Oh my gosh, dude, that you don't hear it. You don't hear the drum, you feel it. You can just it's like a but you feel it in your chest like it vibrates you.
That's
It's
cool.
dude,
That'd
it's
be cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
It
that'd
gets
be
you like it gets me. That's when I start shaking and I get nervous and I'm like, I was well, actually, when I was mushroom hunting yesterday, it was like 10 o'clock in the morning and I was walking through the woods and I had left everyone else and I was up way up the creek looking and I heard that. I never saw the turkey. I never like I think he was up the hill from me a little ways and but he didn't gobble or anything, but I just felt that I heard that and I was like, oh God, there's a turkey right here. I was like, oh yeah, I felt it. Oh, it got me fired up, and I was just out looking for mushrooms,
yeah.
But it
Yeah,
was
so
youth season, so we were
season
on private. But
sorry,
yeah,
what'd you say?
yeah, I said it was youth season. There were some people turkey hunting around there, but we were on the private land, so there shouldn't have been anybody there. But there was a turkey there.
Our neighbor, his nephew shot a bird. Um, I guess that was yesterday morning. So yeah, because it's youth season this
Hmm.
weekend here in Missouri, and then actual season opens is it the 15th?
15th, yeah,
Let's see, next Monday.
next Monday.
Okay.
Yep, we will be in Nebraska,
Now I've seen people already posting birds. They're open, I think in Florida, opens really
Florida
good.
and Mississippi.
Mississippi.
And I think there's some other southern states that are also open. Maybe Georgia. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I
Yeah.
know Mississippi and Florida are open.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
So well, this podcast gonna drop on day of turkey season.
yeah, opener. Yeah.
So season will be open.
Season will be open when you're listening to this.
Go and hunt a bird.
Yeah. Stop
Go out.
listening to us and go shoot a turkey.
Yeah, go shoot a turkey, find a morel, catch a crappie, and go find a shed.
Yep.
That's the grand slam, the spring grand slam.
Yep. There you go.
So if I shoot a turkey, if Emily gets bird and I go out and I shoot a turkey, I'm gonna hustle my butt and try to do the spring
There
grand.
you go.
So
Yep. Yeah, me too. I'm gonna try. I'd like to, man, I'm just excited to have some fried turkey breast and some morels.
hey,
Hmm.
well, they may not have, I don't know if they'll have them in Nebraska, but we'll be focused on turkeys. We gotta bring some.
We should bring some.
Yeah,
Because I do plan on, I would like to take the stuff, a fryer, a little fryer or something with us. That way, if we do kill a turkey, to eat some while we're out there.
yeah.
Because where we're staying, we're not close to any restaurants, I don't think. So we'll probably need
Dude,
to,
there's nothing out west. Like
mm-mm,
it's like
desolate. It's farms and houses.
that's what I'm saying. Like you go and talk to people and man, they're just super nice and like
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they don't
Man,
get visitors very often,
we ain't
other than
seen
their neighbors.
we ain't seen a new person in 2 years.
Mhm.
Like,
I'm kind of hoping that we can. That's honestly, that's low key why, like, I don't want to buy any groceries until we get out there. So
yeah,
I'm hoping we can run into some old farmer or something out there that's got in the grocery store and talk him into letting us hunt.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's easy to like. I don't know about. I mean, I don't know about that area, but I know a lot of times out west, like you can make friends pretty quick. I mean, I met a guy that in Kansas, and man, we just buddied up real quick. It's easy to buddy up, like
Well,
talking.
especially, I mean, not to toot our own horn, but we're fairly personable people, like
Oh yeah,
I get along with everybody. Uh,
yeah.
I can make friends fast.
So we bought this house here, and there's a big farming operation. Um, I mean, it's kind of just all around us right here. And so I
Mm,
went and Brinker, I think is their like last name. And so I just stopped in their house and just introducing myself. I mean,
mhm,
and the like the lady, she's an older farm like lady, and she is fired up about whitetail. Like,
Is she?
let me tell you, yes, like
That's
fired
awesome.
up about whitetail. Like, we went, she showed us like all her mounts and telling me stories, and it was awesome. Like, I actually want to like go and talk with her,
Hmm.
and maybe do some sort of story, because she was just really fun to be around and super like just enjoyable listening to like her
Hmm.
story, just how much like she enjoys it.
Huh. That's awesome. That kind of sucks for you though, because you can't hunt on any of the land around you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they've got some family that hunts on it, and so they're awesome people though. Their son actually came, we the house that we bought, like the previous owner was like digging a pond and just like left it like
mhm,
unfinished. But the problem was the pond was that he was digging, um like it would never have held water, like because there's no run into it,
mhm,
like it's on the top of a hill. And so we were telling like them about it, and her son came and just bulldozed and cleared our whole like backyard down flat and seeded it.
that's
And
awesome.
I was like, wow, like that was, you know, like
Hmm.
God's grace that
Oh yeah.
they even did that for us, because we just had so much like going on here. Like
Oh
when we
yeah.
first,
Yeah,
it was nice.
yeah.
Really good to
And
have good neighbors.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's great that your neighbors are so good out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier to move into a place when your neighbors are just welcoming. They just welcome you and are
Yeah.
willing to help you out. But you got to be the same way. They need
Hmm.
something.
Yep.
So
Well,
yeah, that's
do you have any last minute like a turkey story for us? The
um
Did you told us about all three birds, didn't you?
yeah. I've already told the stories of those three. I can tell the story of my first turkey. I guess I haven't told it yet.
Let's do it.
So my first turkey was a Jake. Had a little beard about that long. But I don't even remember how old I was, but me and Dad were hunting and we had birds. It was an awesome morning. We had turkeys gobbling everywhere, but just never could get them quite close. I got to watch two toms fight that morning, but they were at like 80 yards and wouldn't get any closer. And then when they got done fighting, they just left. And so we were just walking through the woods, actually headed back to the truck, we just made a loop kind of. And Dad was just calling every now and then. And me being little, I didn't know what I was listening to, but Dad was hearing the Jakes. They were following us. He could hear them like they were, doing their Jake sound, gobble, like half gobbles and all that stuff. And I could hear that, but I didn't know anything at the time. And then all of a sudden, Dad just stops and he says, "Turn around and stand, rest your gun on this tree and just stand here." And I was like, "Okay." So I did. and he just kept walking, just calling every now and then as he was walking. And pretty soon, within a few minutes, here come three Jakes just walking from the same path we were walking. They've just been following us, and I shot one of them. And it was funny because I only saw one, and that's the one I shot. And then the other two flew off, so I thought I missed. So then I just racked another shell in and started following it, trying to shoot it out of the sky. Completely missed it. And then I was all down. I was like, man, I missed. And dad comes back. He's like, did you miss? And I was like, I think so. And then I looked back up there and I saw him flopping. So then
Oh
I ran
no.
up there and
How old were you?
I want to say I was like 12,
Okay.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think I was 12, 11
Yeah.
or 12, somewhere right in there. I didn't start turkey hunting until I was older because you have to sit so still, and there was no way I would have been able to do it when I was any younger than that. I don't think
Yeah.
because I could kill deer because you can. I was rifle hunting, so you don't have to sit that still.
Yeah.
Turkeys though, you man, they can see everything. Like I said, I've had them run away when I blinked before.
Yeah.
So
Well, my turkey story is my mom, she's a teacher and she woke up early to go leave for work and she hollered at me while I was asleep and said, "Hey, there's a turkey out in the backyard." And so I ran and grabbed my gun, shot the turkey, took a photo in my pajamas, but you can't see it because I was holding the fan, and then went to school.
oh, that's awesome.
And oh yeah, and then cleaned it and went to school. So
Hmm.
that's my turkey story. We that property that we had in Oklahoma, the neighbor farmer, he counted like 87 turkeys,
Yeah.
and a lot of them roosted on our property. But I just,
Yes.
like I said, it got warm. I grabbed my pole and I was heading out. But
You're fishing. Yeah.
yeah,
And a lot of people are that way. I
yeah,
mean, and that's okay.
we're gonna get that changed though. I have a feeling.
I
Uh,
have a feeling you're going to get hooked.
we're gonna go. Yeah, we're going to Nebraska. We're gonna do some podcasts coming up.
Hmm.
Um, for that. And so our time there, we'll talk a little bit, tell some stories, see how the thing's going. Hopefully, we're all in a good mood with some birds on the ground because
We hope so.
yeah. And then we'll come back. Missouri season will be open.
Hmm.
Me and Emily's gonna go out, try to get her a bird. And then we got to get together for Turkey Island.
Yes. Turkey Island's
So,
coming. I promise it's
so
coming.
we're gonna get in a boat. I've got some islands found that I whitetail hunt and there was some turkeys on them. So we're gonna go and try to see if they're still on there. Hopefully they are because I don't know. I mean, these areas like they may move out during their breeding season, but I feel like that island specifically, I feel like it's a really good
Yep.
for year round, especially for nesters like
Yep.
hens and stuff. I feel like it's a good area for them. So that's gonna do it for this episode. Um, so Levi, you want to close us out because you do a
Yeah.
good job at that.
Yeah. So thank you all for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcast. If you're on YouTube, leave us some comments. We'll try to read through them and just get back to you guys as best as we can. And anyway, stay tuned for some more stuff from Nebraska.